What's up, y'all? Malcolm Reed here from How to Barbecue Right. When you're in the Chattanooga area and you're looking for barbecue supplies, you got to check out my buddy Steve's Owls Nest BBQ Supply. And Steve and his staff have all your outdoor grilling, smoking, live fire cooking supplies. You can find my killer hog stuff there, plus a ton of other cool stuff. So y'all stop in and see Steve. Tell him Malcolm sent you.
Well, down in Ottawa, when the sun goes low, there's a glow at the corner where the good folks go. A man with a smile.
Hey, Tuesday night, everybody. It's catch-up time, Pete. What's up?
What's going on?
Welcome home.
Glad to be home. It was a little colder than here, but not much.
I'm Steve Ray. That's Pete Brandon. This is the Owls Nest BBQ catch-up show. We have got a show of shows tonight, folks. We've got the founder and inventor of the poultry. Hold that thing up, Pete. This is what we've been talking about for all week at the store. The greatest way to cook a chicken, I promise you. And Jason Penley, I hope you're watching because you're going to wish you had invented this thing after we talked to this guy. This is the coolest thing. It's cheap, Pete. It's cheap. You probably got what you need. The expensive part you've already got in your cabinet, the pan, the Lodge pan. So you've already got it. So you're only going to be out $24 if you choose to cook the perfect chicken, which you can do. And also we've got Cameron Parker. He's going to be a new addition to the show, Pete. Cameron is a local restaurant reviewer. And you notice I said reviewer, not critic. He's not one of these guys that go out there and, try to slam people. He is funny. He tells you how the food is. He rates it. And we'll be talking with him in the second part of the show. First, let's do this. Hey, thanks for joining. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Owls Nest BBQ and Owls Nest BBQ Nation. Plus, on YouTube, the Owls Nest BBQ Show. And you can get all of our episodes on Spotify at the Owls Nest BBQ Show with Steve Ray. We're brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, Continental Tires. Pete, Continentals are flying out of the gas station.
They're a good
part.
tire.
It's a great tire, and we just couldn't be happier with them. The support we're getting from them, a great way to get. If you need, this is the time of year when you're going, and if the last thing you want to worry about is what?
A flat tire or
tire.
bad problems with your tires,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Continental Tires available at Steve Ray's Midnight Oil in Ottawa. We're also brought to you by the Poultry Rod, which we'll be talking about. Napoleon Kettle Grills, our great pellet selection, and of course, we've got the best selection of rubs in the Chattanooga tri-state area. Butcher Barbecue, Malcolm Reed, Heath Riles, Meat Church, Lane's Rubs, which are fantastic. Hey Grill, Hey, Dr. Barbecue, Swine Life Barbecue, and Rogue Cookers. The complete lineup of their rubs are at our store, Owls Nest Barbecue Supply in Ottawa. We're going to go with Tony Smith in just a second. First, we're going to play this ad, and then we'll be right back with you. The Pit Barrel Cooker. It just works every time. Every time. Available at Owls Nest Barbecue Supply in Ottawa. That's right. I can't wait to try the poultry on the Pit Barrel Cooker, Pete.
Hey, it's going to be nice. That's one of the things I told you about when I was thinking. First of all, the color, the skin, everything that came out on that was fantastic. On the pit barrel, it would probably just add a little different flavor. That will be amazing.
Steve Davidson, good evening to you. We're going to be talking about your food at the end of the show, Steve. So make sure you stay by. But look who is with us. Tony Smith, the founder and co-creator of the Poultry Rod. Tony, what's up?
Well, thank you for having me and having our product in your store. My business partner Dave and Ian are grateful for all of the support you guys are showing, and I think the fact that you guys just get it is amazing. I got a quick question for one of you though.
Go ahead.
That ad you just showed with the pit barrel,
Uh-huh.
there was some. It looked like rebar going through the barrel itself,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and it looked like little S hooks. What was on those S hooks?
Chicken.
Okay.
Chicken.
Chicken
That
quarter.
was effectively the original inspiration for how the poultry came to be.
You're kidding.
No, it
You
was
saw somebody hanging chicken?
no. Well, that's how they do Peking duck in
Yeah.
Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I worked for Nathan Miravold at Modernist Cuisine, and he used to do a very elaborate roasted chicken, and he would cook it in a combi oven. Are you familiar with combi ovens?
I'm not. No.
They're
No.
they're industrial they're industrial ovens that allow you to control the humidity. And he would do a really low temperature cook with so he could control the wet bulb temperature inside the oven. But he would hang the chickens by their necks using S hooks on a rack. So those ovens are pretty good size, and he could do like I think six at a time in a
Hmm.
combi oven, in the combi oven that they had. And then when it came time for dinner service for all of the folks, he would do a quick 500-degree roast to puff the skin, sort of like a Peking duck, and get the skin shatteringly crispy. And that was sort of the inspiration, seeing that the chicken was free hanging in this oven, and the idea of wanting a simple way to do like a rotisserie chicken without having to deal with trussing and without having to deal with the forks and having to hold it still, just hanging the chicken in midair. But I didn't have a combi oven.
On that oven, does it work like the poultry system does, Tony? Does the heat come from the bottom of that oven? Is that oven very hot in the bottom?
I think in a combi oven it may come from the back with a like a turbofan.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Kind of like
For
they're
convection.
yeah,
yeah.
it's they mostly operate with convection.
Yeah.
Uh, you can turn the convection off, but they're super high end ovens that, like to buy one, you could spend, I think, something like $40,000. Rational is a pretty famous brand of combi oven. And anyway, the point is seeing that the idea of hanging a chicken to cook it in the air is ultimately the root of where this poultry came from, and needing a pan to catch all the fat and the drippings. Obviously, Lodge works well for that, and having it be cast iron, it radiates extra heat back up into the bird, and being able to use really high heat to do it just makes everything work really well.
Take us through the garage scene, if you would, Tony, where you guys are sitting around having a beer and you've got this metal rod and you're trying to figure out, well, 3/8, like we can't bend it, or how are we going to heat this thing and bend it? Take us through the initial mock up of these things, because that's always the best
Um,
part. The Wozniak, computer boing, it just goes off in his head.
well, we were sitting around, and like all good ideas, there were probably some drinks involved. And Dave's wife, Devin, she was joking. We were like, we should do something with this, chicken idea. And we talked about it for a couple years. And she goes, yeah, and you can call it the poultry. And we just busted up laughing. We thought that was the funniest thing. And we the gist of it was we had some shop space. Dave had invested in a little warehouse shop space in Inner Bay here in Seattle, kind of by Fisherman's Terminal. It's an industrial area in Seattle. And he had started to acquire some tooling because he wanted to teach himself things like welding and some wood shop stuff. And he was getting into this industrial kind of, he still wants to build some furniture. So he's into this, teaching himself how to do things. And he bought I think it's not a tube bender, but it's some sort of bender. I think it's more for flat metal,
Like a
but it
press,
works.
probably.
Well, it's not a press. It's got a die and an angle, and you use your arm and leverage to bend it around something, and you can set it along a radius, and so you can set the angles. And so our first couple iterations of this were like a 4 feet piece of stainless steel. I don't remember if it was half inch or 3/8. I don't remember the diameter, but it it was a full standing base, and that was pretty volumetric. It had a kind of a pentagon shape in the bottom, and it just barely fit inside. It didn't really fit in the round lodge pan. It actually fit better in the rectangular lodge pan. And I was having lunch with a really good friend of mine who he's unbelievably creative, and he's launched a business called Seattle Ultrasonics, and he's launching an ultrasonic chef's knife, which you guys should check it out. It's the most amazing thing to happen to knives ever. He's worked diligently over the last 6 or 7 years to create a chef's knife that actually has 40,000 hertz of pulsing ultrasonic frequency through it, and it makes the knife basically frictionless. So he's one of these brilliant people. And we were having lunch, and I was showing him what we were working on, and he had suggested, he goes, I bet you don't even need that base that you're using. You could probably use the handle of the pan. And after lunch, I went back to the shop, and I bent a rod in less than 10 minutes and made it fit into the handle of a pan. But the rod I had, I think must have been 3/8 at the time, the hole was not big enough. So I was like, well, I'll just drill it out. And I took a 3/8 drill bit and went, zzz, and once I did that, the whole thing fit. It just worked. And I took it home and I cooked the chicken on it. But it didn't, I'm going to pull a pan up here for a second. If you look at the pan, like this, I put the rod in, and I had bent it to go in like so, and it was here and then over. So you couldn't really use the handle, right? So the handle was sort of non-functional. And my son was in a high school class for innovations, and he had said, well, you can't innovate something by eliminating something. So your handle's no longer useful. And so the next day I went back to the shop and I adjusted the angles, and the handle still became useful. In fact, it's now enough such that the silicone sleeve will fit over the top of it.
Right.
And then this just sits parallel to the pan, and there's enough clearance. We designed this rise to provide enough clearance to work inside the Breville Joule oven. So it's a countertop oven. Trying to, compete with Ronco, the rotisserie.
Yeah.
But wait, there it is right there.
Yeah.
Now that's the turkey one that I have, and that's why the chicken looks so small on it. But
it probably gave you a lot of really good air circulation, and so I think this is the thing that most people are unfamiliar with, is the three types of heat transfer that typically happen when you're cooking. There's conduction heat transfer, there's convection heat transfer, and then there's radiation heat transfer. And this type of cooking is almost entirely convection heat transfer. Most cooking is conduction heat transfer. So a hot item, something is heated up and it conducts the heat directly to the food. So think of like a pan searing your steak perfectly. That's conduction heat transfer. But if you think of something like sous vide, it's actually convection. It's a fluid circulating around your food. And air is technically a fluid. So fluid dynamics are, at play here. And so the convection current, hot air moving around the bird, eliminates the need to have the bird rotate around a hot radiant source.
Mm-hmm.
And so effectively, and I've had a few Facebook arguments with, know-it-alls out there that say, well, it can't be rotisserie because it is not it's not rotating, and therefore the juices aren't redistributing, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that doesn't actually really matter. The rotating juices is not a relevant part. The reason it rotates is so it doesn't burn, and it can radiate, be hit with a high temperature radiant heat source.
Well, I'm going to believe
very,
you, Tony, because I've tasted it, and it tastes better than Mr. Know-It-All's chicken. And that's the same. That's kind of the same premise that pit barrel works on. The air, when you hang something, that pit barrel is really made. You can hang briskets, ribs, and it goes down and it almost touches the charcoal. If the charcoal's in the bottom, it's just in a basket. It's very simple. Charcoal's in the bottom. You hang the meat, but in the bottom, the heat circulates coming up the barrel, and it cooks in a convection. Instead of moving the product, you're moving the air.
exactly.
And that's why it cooks so perfectly in that pit barrel.
And also the rebar you're talking about is part of how you control the temperature in there, whether it's hot or colder. Those holes in there and those rebar being in there gives you the perfect air you need through there as well to do that.
Yeah,
So
the guy
that's where
invented
you
the
get your
pit barrel,
combustion air.
the guy that invented the pit barrel lives in California. His name is Noah Glanville. So he's kind of like your neighbor. He lives in Upper California. So you guys ought to hook up and cook some chicken on a pit barrel someday.
Yeah,
But
it looks pretty interesting.
that pit barrel, you can get that charcoal hot, and it'll heat that pan, and you can set that down in there in a big one, and that's what we're going to try.
Excellent.
I think it'll work great, and I think it'll be. But this is what I want to tell everybody. And Jeff, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. This thing is perfect for a pellet grill. This fits in a pellet grill perfectly. I used my Green Mountain to do that turkey. We did a turkey Saturday. A 12-pound turkey, 12.8-pound turkey, we cooked in 1 hour and 45 minutes. In the Green Mountain grill, pellet grill, set at 425. And it was, everybody that tasted it couldn't believe it. And I like to, let's see, what was the word you used on the skin? Unshatterable? Was that the word you used to describe it?
No, shatterable. It gets puffed up and is shattered. Like you take a knife and you crack
It's
it.
like
and it
it's
just
like
shatters.
I told everybody it's like a potato chip.
Yeah.
It's a perfect crispy skin. I have, and the reason I say this, Tony, I've cooked 1 million turkeys, and we've cooked them to sell them, and I'm always trying to get that perfect, tight, crispy skin, and you just can't get it without burning the top, getting a black on it from smoking it, and getting it so it doesn't look tasty. To me, part of Thanksgiving is the Norman Rockwell turkey. It doesn't come out of a smoker; it comes out of your mom's oven, and it's beautiful. It's golden brown. It's the Martha Stewart turkey for all you boomers, and and it just the turkey that comes off of the poultry is exactly like that. Exactly like that.
There's something unique though that you brought up, and that is because we're not trussing the turkey or trussing the chicken, the dark meat, thigh and leg, hang free away from the body. And in doing that, you don't have the huge heat sink of the breast or especially if you were to stuff it. That creates an even larger heat sink that slows down the cooking process from the inside out. And in this example, hot air will move through that cavity and help keep the convection currents going and cook mostly from the outside in, but a little bit from the center, with the hot air going through the body cavity there. But the leg and thigh will hit their 175 to 185 temperature long before the breast hits 150 typically. And that means that you get two different doneness temperatures in a bird, which up until this method of cooking really wasn't possible. You would never be able to hit two different doneness temperatures. It may happen in a fried turkey, I'm not sure. But this is, functionally very similar to what happens in an air fryer, and, similar to what happens in deep frying, just without all of the risk and all the danger.
I was going to say, you don't have to have the fire department on standby to cook a turkey with the poultry.
So I can
But when
see
you
you
think
now.
about it, like deep frying, you're talking about convection heat transfer. It's, the oil's moving around the bird, inside, outside, the whole bit. And if you've done this to the thigh and leg, you've limited their ability to cook away from the breast. And so they get trapped by the heat sink of the much larger material of the breast.
What were we going to say, Pete?
I was just going to say, I can see us on the hog cooker now with 25 skillets and had to get that perfect turkey, perfect color, to have them all lined up on there, Steve, because look, that picture you just showed is the most beautiful. The color, the skin, it almost looks like there's no skin on it. It's so tight, so perfect to that.
Yeah. We've got a huge hog cooker, and this thing,
That would be
they
amazing.
would fit on there just perfect. And we can ramp the temperature on that hog cooker up to sun. We can get it up there. Kel Sims checking in. Kel, hey everybody, did I miss Cameron Parker? No, Cam will be on the second part of the show, everybody. So just hang loose. We're talking with Tony White, co-founder and co-inventor of the poultry chicken rod cooker. And everybody real quick, let me just play this video. This is a short video that Pete and I did. We want you to watch this thing because it's really incredible. Hang loose. This is a new item in a way to cook chicken. It's called the poultry.
This is the turkey unit for hanging a turkey. I bought it. It's really big. I should have bought the chicken one, but the chicken will work on it. This metal contraption here, this metal rod, goes in this special ordered Lodge pan that I ordered with the kit. It goes there in the handle. Very simple. And you see it holds there, and you can bend it. Now we had to bend it to make it fit, but you can see how the chicken, and Pete's going to put the chicken on there. There, exactly how it goes, just like so. And the theory is it cooks over the pan. The pan gets hot, and of course the drippings go in the pan. And as it cooks, the pan gets hot. Of course the turkey gets hot, Pete. And then you get a convection type of action. Grab this chicken on the poultry, and let's take it to the grill. The grill's warming up. We're going to get it in there so we get some smoke on it. It's going to fit. Oh, look at there.
Perfect.
That thing fit just perfect.
Close her up.
Yep.
Tony, how
That was
proud
great.
are you
That was great.
seeing somebody in Ooltewah, Tennessee use your invention for all the way from Seattle, Washington?
Oh, I love it. What I love more than anything is the fact that you guys get it. Like you understand it.
And everybody asked Pete asked the same thing, and I didn't know the answer when we first were doing it. He said, we ought to put some potatoes and some stuff in the pan, but that messes it up, doesn't it?
Well, in my opinion, it definitely does. I'm going to say, but there are people that have had success, and I think more than anything, they've had success on on smoker type setups. I just got this today, and you can see he's got, beautiful color. I don't know if you can see that, but he did, veggies and
Yeah.
whatnot in there. And my big problem with it is it again it robs heat from the bird, and it can end up steaming the underside. And so at the maximum temperature your breast will get to is 212, 215, somewhere in that area, until all of the moisture is evaporated out of the veggies. And then it doesn't work so good. So if you're going to put veggies in there, my suggestion is to par cook them in a, either parboil them or par cook them in an oven. Get them like half to 3/4 of the way cooked, set them aside. And then when you're done with your with your chicken, if you didn't burn the drippings, like if the drippings stayed pretty decent colored and, not burned, toss your par cooked veggies, potatoes, whatever you got in the pan, and finish cooking them on your grill at that point with the grill temp high. And it turns out really good. We have done it that way, and it's been great. We've also tried, grocery stores sometimes sell par cooked frozen rice, and you can finish off a couple bags of rice in the drippings on the stove or on the grill top. 10 minutes it finishes cooking the rice through, and soaks up all the drippings in it, and that's pretty good too.
Question, Steve, on there about how long does it take to fully cook? So the chicken and the turkey. You just told, I think earlier before you got on, the turkey was what, an hour and a half?
Hour and 45
Hour
minutes.
and 45 minutes.
12-pounder.
Yeah, and then the chicken you cooked, the one we had on there. What did we cook that? 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it was 45 minutes, and it was done in 45 minutes.
Yeah,
And
typically
it's done. It's
4-pound a 4-pound chicken it'll be somewhere around 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's done, folks. You don't have to worry about it. When you stab it, there's nothing red coming out of it. When the juice comes pouring out of it, it's clear. It's cooked. And I think, Tony, you even said that you cook your chickens up to what, 150, and then you pull them off and let them rise on their own.
Yeah, if you cook with any level of smoke, where you have carbon monoxide and nitric oxide present, you'll get some of that pink hue coming through, due to the myoglobin in the muscle. So color is a really bad indicator if you're doing any kind of smoke cooking, as to whether or not the bird is fully cooked. Temperature is the best indicator.
Absolutely.
And 150 degrees is a safe temperature if it has sat at 150 for more than 4 minutes. So 150 and up for 4 minutes is the same pasteurization time temperature curve as 165 for like 2 seconds or whatever the insta-kill number is. So this idea that it has to be 165, I mean, its carryover is typically 10 to 15 degrees. By the time you're eating it, you're now at 175 in the breast, and that's going to be awful. It's overcooked.
It keeps cooking a little bit because that pan, the hardest part, the very hardest part of this whole deal is getting it off the grill because it's so hot.
So let me tell you what I do. I grab tongs, just a pair of big, kitchen tongs, and I squeeze the bird like this. I tip it up so the juice drains out into the pan. It drains off, and then I just slide it off and put it on a baking sheet and carry it inside, and I leave the pan on the grill until I go back out to clean the pan.
Well, on a green egg, that I think was what you prefer to use. You can do that, but I don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah, you probably got a lot of smoke coming off, huh?
Well, when you saw ours. Where's that picture? It's
no, you're right.
It's real close. It's real close. See how close it is to the top?
Yeah.
And it'd be hard to do that. But it's not a big deal because all you have to do is just pull it forward a little bit. What we did, we just pulled it out of the smoker onto the front shelf and let it sit there. And it will continue to cook.
Well, and if you were using the 10-inch pan, you wouldn't have that problem.
Right.
That's
true. That's true.
Yep.
I wasn't using
the turkey setup requires 12 inches of height clearance. The chicken only requires, I think, maybe seven
But
or eight.
still, what my point was, the hardest part is getting it out, and that's not hard when you get those. We've all got, everybody in barbecue business has heat gloves, and
Yeah,
you put your heat gloves on and you just pull it off.
yeah.
So the hardest part is easy. So what my point was going to be, the hardest part's easy.
We deal with a lot of heat.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
everybody
excellent.
knows how to handle hot stoves. The most dangerous part is when you're trying to open the door if you don't have help. That's the
Well, I would. You guys were on it when you said, you listen to the don't put stuff in the pan. The worst thing you can put in the pan is liquid. Liquid automatically creates a heat sink. You lose the radiant properties of the cast iron. It's just a bad idea, and you don't need the humidity. That just causes the skin to be awful. Finish it off in a really hot oven or a hot barbecue or a hot smoker, and cook it for anywhere from 45 minutes to maybe an hour and 10 minutes. And it'll be done. It'll be delicious. And
Well,
a
Tony,
turkey is roughly
it's a
double that.
fantastic product. We've got them at the Owls Nest Barbecue Supply. They are in stock.
Excellent.
There it is, right there. It comes in that nice little box. We've got the big turkey rod too, and they're loose, but it's no big deal. These are $24.95. The turkey rod's $39.95. You probably have the Lodge cast iron skillet at your house. I know you do if you live in Ooltewah. Everybody's got a cast iron skillet, and we love to hear the stories behind the cast iron.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta have the Meemaw story behind the cast iron.
The
We
cast
wanna get-
iron, the
Go.
cast iron skillets that you guys have, the older ones, the keyhole tends to be a little small, which is why you got to use a T-handle reamer, a 3/8 inch drill bit to open those holes up. But the reason we went with the 3/8 was it was the simplest. It just worked. Any smaller of a diameter rod to fit the non-standard keyhole of the Lodge pan, because the keyhole across their pans is not the same size.
Yeah.
A brand new 12 made in their number 2, if it says SK10 and then a 2 on the bottom, that keyhole fits straight out of the box. But if it says SK10 and a 3, the 3 is still a small keyhole. So there's no standard across the Lodge manufacturing line. And knowing that we wanted to use Lodge as the pan, we had to make it somewhat simple and workable. And the simplest answer was a T-handle reamer that you could use by hand without having to have a drill bit. And it's like, it's intended to be a one-time use tool, but you open it up, and there's videos on our website on how to do it. You open that
If you
handle
come by the
hole
store,
up.
I'll show you how to do it. It's so
It's
easy.
not hard, but that's been the single biggest reason people have wanted to return the item to us. They'd be like, it doesn't fit my pants. And, a lot of people tend not to read all of the instructions, and we put those instructions on that box, and we put QR codes to videos, hoping people would take the time to read it and see what we intended. But that's the one reason we do include a pan as an option for customers to buy. But I'm buying those at retail from Amazon, and I'm drilling the holes out myself, and then I'm reshipping them. So it's not really cost effective for anybody to have me do the pans. The real genius is just buy the rods and do the pans yourself.
Tony, we'll be glad to show them how to do it. I can't wait to get the feedback over the next holidays. And we will, when we do the prime rib on this thing, we're going to start playing with it. We do the prime rib, we'll let you know. Tony Smith, the poultry company founder and co-creator, I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate it, Tony.
Appreciate you.
Have a great Christmas, Tony. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Thank you
take
so
care.
much. All right, we come back. Cameron Parker, the probably Pete, the most famous reviewer in Chattanooga. We'll be right back. You're watching the Owls Nest Barbecue Catch-Up Show with Steve and Pete. Stay with us.
The Pit Barrel Cooker.
It just works every time. Every time. Available at Owls Nest Barbecue Supply in Ottawa. And there he is, Cameron Parker. Cam, how you doing?
Doing well, Steve. How are you?
Okay, this is going to be a weekly feature for everyone. We're going to do Cameron's Dad Bod restaurant review. Notice I say review, Cam, not critic. Okay,
That's right.
because on the Owls Nest Barbecue Show, we're not courageous. We are cultured and friendly. So let's get started. Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna get started, Pete, just like we're gonna do every week. It's the Dad Bod Restaurant Review. Time to find out where Cameron Parker had lunch this week. Every day, Cam eats out somewhere in the Chattanooga area. Did he eat at your store? A 9.5 or a 6.5? Let's find out now with Cameron Parker. And there he is, Cameron Parker, the Dad Bod cooking, mobile eater, man about town. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. It has been a wild ride finding all these restaurants around the Chattanooga area. You know, I had no idea when I moved here about 18 months ago just how big the food scene was in the Chattanooga area and all the surrounding cities, but it is massive and it is amazing. I mean, just Hamilton County alone has enough restaurants that you could literally eat at a different one every single day for about 4 years.
Cam, how did we're going to get to the restaurant reviews here, folks, in just a little bit. But what was the, I call it the Steve Wozniak moment, like we were talking to Tony. What was the moment when you said, "Hey, let me try this"? Like,
Yes.
Where were you eating? What were you eating? And whose restaurant were you at?
Yeah, so I started my TikTok page actually several years ago, and it was all just cooking, a lot like stuff that you guys do, a lot of barbecue stuff, smoking meats, grilling meats. My whole motto back then was to eat healthy enough to live a long time, but bad enough to actually enjoy it. And so everything was about the cooking and all. And I took a long break from TikTok, almost 3 years. It was just a lot of work, and we had a lot of stuff going with our family and moving around and stuff. And so just kind of got bored and came back to the old account. And I was actually talking with a friend of mine, and he said, "Yeah, man, you should get back into it, but you should try a food review." So I said, "Okay, you know, nobody's going to want to watch my food review. Like, what would that be?" So I'm driving to a job site, and I passed a sign on the interstate for Odell's. Which if you're familiar with Lookout Valley at all, you know Odell's, right?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Odell's at the time. I just saw it. I said, you know what? I'm just going to try some food. And when I parked, I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I had no idea what I was doing, like no clue. I just turned on the camera and I got their chicken salad sandwich, which said it was world famous on the menu. And just took a bite, started talking about it. And I think that video is sitting at like 60,000 views or something like that. And it just kind of exploded from there.
Well, I'll say this. It was Lookout Valley famous before you put it on TikTok.
Oh,
Now it is.
absolutely.
Now it's world famous.
Oh, well, and I messed up too because I'm not familiar with this area and all the different suburbs and stuff like that. So I said I was in Chattanooga and everybody freaked out and said, "No, you're in Lookout Valley."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're personal. That's
yeah.
personal now. That's personal to people.
You know, I'm learning that. Like I've made a mistake a couple of times, just like when I've been on the edge. Like I just did DeFazio's Pizzeria that's new here in town.
Yeah.
And I said I was in Ottawa, and again flooded with, "You're actually in Collegedale." I'm like, come on, the line is like in the parking lot. Like it's not that big of a deal.
And that battle has been going on since I moved here in 1982. So that's a long.
If you pull up my zip code, it shows Collegedale sometimes, and sometimes it shows Ottawa. They're both. They share.
So how do you even know where you are? It doesn't matter. All I know is where I'm eating.
I used to think I was in Ottawa, but who knows? But who cares? So tell where did you said you've been here 18 months.
Yeah.
Where did you come from? What planet? And why did you come from to here?
Yes. So I had spent the last 7 years prior in Greenville, South Carolina. I was born and raised in Georgia. I'm a bulldog through and through. I know that's enemy territory, but it's fine.
Wish I'd known that before I had you on.
Yeah, I know. We'll get through it. I'm not going to bark at you, I promise.
You're damn right you're
not. So moved. I spent 7 years in Greenville, South Carolina, and then moved here for work. Took a new job here, and been here ever since, and loving this area. Tennessee was never on my radar, not even a little bit. But Chattanooga has spoken to me. I really like it.
And he moved to Ottawa.
Yep. Been in Ottawa since we got here.
Pete Cameron, I mean, are you even 2 miles from me right now?
Not even.
We might even we might even put a little space for you over here in the studios in the months to come.
Yeah, I could be at your place in about 7 minutes.
Well, let me tell you how I found you. I was scrolling. It was a lot like I found Tony Smith and the poultry. It showed up on my Facebook feed, and I wish I could remember which review you were doing, but for some reason it popped up, and I watched it, I said, this guy is hilarious, and you had such a good, it takes a special person to sit in his front seat with food in his truck and make it interesting. You did a great job at that.
Thank you.
Guy's really funny. And I said, what? Because believe it or not, Pete and I delved into and our friend Jeff Maxwell, we delved into the restaurant review world last winter, a year ago, going to different restaurants. And I thought it would be well received. And I wish I could say it was lukewarm, but it was, nobody cared where Steve Ray ate. I mean, that's just bottom line.
Yeah. We were might have been a little more of a critic than we were a review.
No, we were pretty nice, but we had a good time doing it, and I could see where you would love doing it because it is a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah.
So Odell's was your first, and you said that, and were you surprised on how many people watched it?
Blown away. I had no idea, how quickly that video would take off. I'm literally just, checking my TikTok, and, every couple of minutes, like the views are just skyrocketing, like the analytics are going off the charts. People are commenting. People are saying, no, that's not the best chicken salad. This is the best chicken salad. And other people are saying, no, you're wrong. This is the best chicken salad, but you also need to try this. And it just turned into this huge community engagement. And that's what's been the most fun of the whole thing, is that the people who follow me are incredibly engaged. Every video gets hundreds and hundreds of comments. And I try to respond to as many of them as I can. Most days I get to all of them, but most of the time now it's getting to be too much. I'm getting 400 or 500 comments a day across multiple videos. It's hard to keep up with, but the community aspect of it and just how much everybody loves food in this area was stifling.
Do you focus, Cam, on the like the mom and pops more than the chains?
Yeah, I love highlighting small, local, family-owned. A lot of times, especially in a market like this, where there's so many really, really great food spots, they can get lost in the noise. If you open a new restaurant, how do you get visibility when you're competing with 1,200 other restaurants in the area? And everybody loves food here, so it's like, how do you get that visibility? So when I'm in a new area for the day, the first thing I'm looking for is what's going to be near me that is, a small place. I have a list of recommendations from viewers that I think there's 150 restaurants on the recommendation list of just, people begging me to go to these places
that you haven't been to yet.
Yeah, that I haven't even been to yet. Like, not even like I haven't even scratched the surface of the recommendation list. It's pretty crazy. But I love showcasing the mom and pop. They don't get a whole lot of, of traffic. And a lot of times they don't have the budget to spend, money on a whole bunch of advertising and stuff like that. So if I can come through there and really enjoy the food, and I'm always honest about it, if something doesn't really, hit me the way that that I like, I'll say that. I'm always going to be respectful because I don't want to ever hurt anyone's business either, and just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you or for Pete. I mean, it's just, it's all subjective, it's just, what you like. But showing those off has been amazing. And we've been able to actually change a lot of businesses here lately. DeFazio's, after I did their review last Friday, the owner messaged me last night, and they have doubled their entire business. They've been open for 2 months. And they actually every day have been selling out of food before closing time.
People got to try
So,
that.
yeah.
It's not far from us at all.
I remember the day they opened and they had their little ribbon cutting and stuff. So I have been looking at, their menu and stuff and to check them out. So yes, I need to go there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And they, from what I hear, their garlic knots are amazing. Like whenever I do pizza, I always start with just a cheese and a pepperoni. Cause if you can't, like anybody can hide pizza when you've got, 1,000 different toppings on it. But like cheese and pepperoni, that's when you find out who you are in pizza. And so that's what I had there. And it was phenomenal. It was really, really good.
I was showing Pete before we went on the air. I showed Pete the, I think American Wings did the fried rice and wings. And it was funny because when Tony was on, he was talking about somebody would put rice in the pan underneath the chicken on the poultry. And I said, wow. So rice and chicken must be a thing. We need to try that.
I mean, the only person I ever seen, David Bosco, doesn't eat rice, don't like rice. But other than that, everybody loves rice, right? Different way it's cooked.
It's a David
Bosco.
No rice for David.
Well, and I'm a huge rice fan. So like my whole family, we're kind of obsessed with Asian cultures and stuff. We've got tons of friends and family from Asian cultures. So rice is a big thing for us. But I was blown away with American Wings because somebody had commented to me and they were like, you need to try their wings and get the side of fried rice. And I'm like, no, I didn't read that right. Like what you said fried rice with wings. Yeah. So of course I had to try it. And it was surprisingly good for a little small wing shack.
I got to try it because I love fried rice, and I have yet to find anything like I was accustomed to eating where I came from. So I definitely want to try it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not it's nothing spectacular. It's just kind of a basic fried rice, but that's the one I like. Like that's the one I can count on. I know it's going to be good.
I just want a really good flavor.
And I did hear so one thing that I heard that I messed up a little bit is they'll give you these little teriyaki packets with it. Put the teriyaki on the fried rice. Everybody says that's the way to go.
Well, all you gotta do with fried rice, put a little chicken broth in it, and it's marvelous.
Yeah,
there's a billion people in China that eat it every day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The fried rice stand in Beijing does a pretty good business.
Pretty good with
or without Cameron Parker's review. So
that's right. They don't need to.
All right, so let's get this thing started. We'll as the weeks go on, Cameron's going to be with us every Tuesday, Pete, and we're going to talk about the different restaurants because we always kid when we read the restaurant reviews or the restaurant grades in the paper on Tuesdays. I always want to talk about them, then I always go, maybe I don't want to talk about them. Bless their hearts. Maybe somebody just had a bad day because some of them are pretty hilarious. Or, they're so dirty, they're hilarious.
Some of them are scary.
Yeah, scary. Yeah, like the eggs were dripping over the chicken stored at 80 degrees.
Exactly.
We take off a point for that. And then we count the dead bodies out there in the dining area. So let's talk about this week. Where did Cam Nation head out to this week, and what were the high points?
Yeah, I had a lot of good eats over the last week. So obviously DeFazio's was one of my favorites that I stopped at. That was great. We've talked about that a lot. Anchor's Hoagies, that's another staple in the area that everybody seems to know about. And, for a sandwich shop, I had never known, never heard of a steak in a sack, right?
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I had no clue. But that's what everybody said to get. So I go in there, I get it. And it's actually the first part of the video. I kind of freaked out because I opened it up and I said, "Oh God, it's a Hot Pocket!" Like it's a big boy's Hot Pocket. That's what it is. And I loved everything about it. So that was a great spot. I found this this really small. Now this is completely different. Like, and there are. I try once a week or at least every 2 weeks. I want to find something unique that nobody knows what it is or what it's about. And I found that this week in Carla's Snacks. So Carla just opened up on Wilcox in September. If you know anything about that area, it's over where the Seafood King food truck is always parked at in that parking lot. And she sells Mexican snacks and desserts and things like that are very specialty, very fresh. Man, I had flavors that I've never had before. I had something I loved. She has street corn there that was really good.
Oh, yeah.
But she has
Elote.
these like, yeah, she has these apples. She calls them crazy apples, and she's got crazy all sorts of fruits. But it's covered in like 3 different types of chamoy, and it has a candied tamarind on it. And I've never had anything like it, but it was amazing, just incredible. She's such a sweet lady, and she has such a cool little spot there. Kind of blew up that video too. I think that video has been shared 3,000 times now, and people are flooding into that store. So that's a good one to check out. Couple of good food trucks actually this week. I love food trucks. That's one of my favorite things because I feel like if you can cook in a food truck, man, you could outclass any Michelin chef because that is tough. Like everything about that's tough.
Let's don't go crazy now, but I agree somewhat.
Bama Nougat Wings, fantastic, really good spot. They're actually a part of this conglomeration of food trucks in the area called the Food Trappers Union. Just found that out this weekend where I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. There's Crab Plate, Food Vibes, and a couple others that are part of it, and they do these events and stuff. So their stuff was really good. Great wings. He had actually just tried for the very first time, and you're right, Kels. That's Swirl. Swirl is the man in there. He made for me these loaded mac and cheese topped French fries that had barbecue seasoning on them, with chicken, like some fried chicken pieces, mac and cheese, all on fries. Phenomenal. Like it was absolutely another world.
Cam, back up just a second. And I want to make sure Pete and I understand this. You say that there's this conglomerate of food truck. Now these guys, do they like travel together and set up in one big area?
A lot of times,
where you have a choice. I like that.
Yeah. So what they did this past Saturday was Sunday, excuse me, was I think their last event before the new year. And they had the 4 food trucks set up, and they had like a little mini market in there. So there were like 3 other little booths with people who, like, one lady had like some crafts and stuff like that. One lady that I met, Eco Sip Experience, she is a mobile bartender. And does like events and stuff, and has cocktails and stuff like that. And I tried her eggnog and a mimosa. Really great there. She just opened up as well. But yeah, they kind of go together. I mean, they'll do other things, but they promote each other, and I love that. I think that's fantastic to kind of have like a group of food trucks. I think
Pete, what a great idea.
Amazing. You know, you and I kind of been to a place or two like that before. Just didn't. Wasn't the same because it was more of just people came in, they weren't kind of together doing their thing. That sounds really cool the way they're doing that.
Yeah. And Kels is on the inside scoop here. She, if you're looking at the comments, she's got most of the she's got all the food trucks that I saw there, for sure, as a part of that Food Trappers Union. So definitely something to be on the lookout for there. Couple of bigger, I did try a bigger spot, Fuji Steak and Sushi. Actually invited my wife and I out to have a dinner on them and try the place. It was really good, really fun hibachi experience.
Where are they at?
They are over off of Shalford Road, right there at the interstate. Mm-hmm. And really fun hibachi experience. Good food. I had a couple of notes and a few critiques in the review and everything, but overall, really fun time. And actually, I'm looking forward to this week over in that same area. I'll be trying on Friday night. We'll be having volcano crab and Volcano Crab and Bar is that place there, which is like a seafood boil
Yeah.
with and I think they have ramen and all this other stuff. So kind of a meld there that I'm really excited about.
And where's that at? In the Shalford Road area?
Yep, it's
Yeah.
right over,
About
basically right next to it, over near the new Beignets and Brew.
I've ate there. I've been to that place. So, and just not to change anything other than mine, I enjoyed it.
Good.
But I kind of like a Cajun, anything that's kind of Cajun type food that you can get the flavor and seasoning from them in.
Absolutely. Well, my wife will tell you that I am a nutcase for a crab boil. That is like, if she gives me carte blanche to make whatever I want to make, she doesn't even like have to ask. We're doing a crab boil. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm really excited to have that.
Real quick, discuss your Japanese background.
So I don't really have a background in it per se, aside from the fact that early on in our marriage, my wife and I ended up just with a huge friend set of Japanese people and families. And I ended up, over time, I learned how to make sushi. And I ended up, we were part of a church in Peachtree City, Georgia, that had a Japanese church. And I ended up catering for a bunch of their events. I would make sushi for the Japanese church. And they always thought it was a really cool novelty. You know, here's this white guy making sushi and stuff that's actually good.
The American guy making sushi for the Japanese guy.
Exactly. It actually kind of led to, I have this dream, like pipe dream in my head that I want to move to Japan and I want to open a restaurant called Gaijin Gai. Gaijin means foreigner. And I want to be Gaijin Gai Sushi. And I just feel like the novelty would be amazing to have this American in Japan making sushi.
But you went to Japan, right?
Yeah. So in 23, my wife and I spent 2 weeks in Japan. We traveled through Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, a couple other places, and just so much food. So much food. I post videos from time to time, just kind of throwbacks, just in remembering that experience. Some of the most amazing food I've ever had in my entire life.
You know, there's a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of Sam, the cooking guy. He's in San Diego, and he has a YouTube channel, pretty big. And he always talks about his love of Japan and the love of Japanese food.
Yeah,
it's something special.
The whole thing. It really is. Everybody who's ever been, after you come back, the only thing you can think about is when you get to go back. Like that's it. It just consumes your thoughts because not only are the people amazing and the area is amazing, everything's clean and everybody is very respectful of each other. But just the food is just incredible. And on the American dollar, it goes a long way. When we first landed, my wife and I, we were jet lagged, we were exhausted. We'd been flying for 16 hours, but we were starving. And I think it was like 11 o'clock local time at night. So we just went into this first little hole in the wall restaurant we could find. And I got this huge plate of rice with chicken cutlet over it with a curry sauce. And so there's more food than I can eat. My wife got something, big plate as well. It was like $6 total for all of it. Just incredible. We were blown away. I spent probably $1,000 total in 2 weeks. And that was including a $300 steak in Kobe. That was the most expensive thing I had on the meal. But you can't go to Japan and not have Kobe beef in Kobe.
No.
So
like they say, how do you get to Japan? Go to Hawaii and keep going.
yeah. Well, and coming from the East Coast, that's tough, man. The flights are just crazy. I mean, you can get there from California for about $700, but here you're looking at about $1,500 a seat for coach.
Someday, Pete.
Hey, I just came back from New York. The hole in the wall places on the outskirts of New York City. There's a little deli called Katz, Katz. Look it up. Called Katz Deli.
Yeah, I've never heard of Katz Deli, Pete.
It's on my travel list for sure.
But it's a 3-city block line in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
All day long to get into that place.
They've been there 100
years.
years.
I know, but I can't believe, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not in downtown or anything. It's just crazy. People come from everywhere to go there.
That's kind of like Pat's and Gino's in Philadelphia for the Philly cheesesteak. I went to Pat's several years ago, and yeah, it's a long line, and it was freezing cold, and you just stand there, and you're happy you're there.
That's it.
I don't know about that, but all right. So let's go this week. The highlight and the low light of this week.
So low light. Well, let's set a parameter here. Does this week include today, or are we just sticking to like last week?
We are courageous today.
Okay, so we're talking a week through today. So we'll start with the low light so that we can end on a high note. The low light was actually today. The video has not posted yet. Well, actually, I take it back. It's 8:00, so the video just posted itself on TikTok. I was in Cleveland and I tried Jordan's barbecue. Okay, came highly recommended for ribs. So I went in there, got the ribs plate with the mac and cheese and the onion rings. The ribs looked and smelled phenomenal. And, man, like you pick up the bone, the whole thing falls off. It was incredible. I was excited, but the flavor was just kind of underwhelming. Like, I don't know if they didn't use enough seasoning or what. The sauce was good, but the meat itself virtually had no flavor. So that was
they cooked it out. If the meat fell off the bone like that, you just cook the flavor out of it.
Yep. And you guys know this too. Like, I mean, I've talked about on a bunch of videos where, it's really cool to be that tender, but it's hard to keep it flavorful like that because you're supposed to be able to bite it off the bone.
Exactly.
With a
Clean
gentle
bone.
cut.
Bite it.
Clean bone.
Clean bone. Perfect.
It's fun for a video and it's fun to see, like, when you pick it up and it falls off, it's like, that's amazing, but it's so hard to keep good flavor in that. So I wasn't too terribly critical on their score. Cause again, the sauce was great. Everything was good. I think I gave them a 7.2. So, it's still good. And I still ate them all. Not gonna lie about that, but that was kind of the low light.
7. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, if the sauce had been off, we would have gotten down into the 6s. If they'd have been tough, we'd have been in the 5s. So there's a lot of wiggle room there. But
sure.
And I will say this: what plays into my ratings too is a lot of time is the people inside and the environment, which was very friendly and welcoming. So they got bonus points for that.
Good.
Best place overall though, DeFazio's Pizza, 100%. Great pizza. It was my favorite pizza that I've had in the area so far. And I've had Community Pie. I've had Pizza Bros. I've had NYPD. I've had a lot of pizza in the area. DeFazio's top notch. I'd put them up against anybody.
That's next on my list to try just because you said that.
Pete, let's get a carry out.
So good.
We'll call them and we'll get a carry out tomorrow. And
I'll tell you what, too, if you're just passing through, so they sell by the slice, I got 2 slices and a bottled drink for $8. That to me is
nice.
Wow. And I saw those slices are huge.
Yeah. Very good.
Did you have any pizza up in New York?
I did.
Did you have one of those big pizzas?
Oh, yeah. I had some really good pizza. 3 different places, a slice that I had to try different places.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and apparently I didn't hold it right, so I apologize if you watch the video, Pete. If you're from New York, apparently you're supposed to fold it over. I didn't fold it. I just kind of held it, but it stayed nice and
I'm not from New York, but I do fold mine over. Yeah.
Okay.
On those big slices.
Yeah.
And that's really just because that's the way you got to handle it.
That's right. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
But all of the followers and commenters are saying that the garlic knots are spectacular, and they say they have really good wings in there too. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm absolutely going to be back to try all of those things because the place was amazing. The ownership is cool. It is very, very wonderful. They're from New York, so DeFazio's, you got to check it out.
They're right there, 4 corners in the.
Yep.
They're in the Advanced Auto Parts Center, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah,
aren't
that's
they
right.
by them? Yeah. Do you plan like where you're going to go eat in the week, or do you just let your
I have my
Is it where you're working?
Yeah. It's largely dictated by where my work route, because I'm a project manager, so I'm traveling all over to all of our different projects and stuff. So I'm in a different area every day, which makes this perfect.
Yeah,
to be able to spread out around the city. So I have all of my recommendations kind of organized by city or area. So once I figure out where I'm going, I will typically go to that list. If nothing just speaks to me for that day, I'll get on Google and see what people are talking about, and then I take it from there.
Well, that's fantastic, Cam. We're Pete and I are looking forward to having you every week and talking about the different restaurants. And
Yeah.
what we'll do an interview with you, and we'll record it and we'll post it so everybody will be able to go and get more of a background on Cameron Parker and
Awesome.
the planet that he comes from. And because I tell you, you've got a real talent for
Thank
telling
you.
a food
Thank you.
story.
I
And
really appreciate that.
well, I can see why you're so popular on TikTok. Guys like me and Pete, we still think TikTok is a children's toy, but
My
well,
kids
I
teach me
got
about TikTok.
look. I gotta bring you into the fold, man. I'm telling
I
you,
know
that's where everybody's hanging out. That's where all the cool kids are these
that's
days.
I believe that everybody's hanging out on TikTok. Hey, have you got time to go over the food pictures with us?
Yeah. What do you got?
Every week we've got a page on Facebook, and it's Pete and I's favorite page. It's the Owls Nest BBQ Nation, and it's open to everybody. Um, but it's a group of guys that mostly post. They'll cook during the week, and it's a place to show your food, and they'll post the food pictures, and they'll post how they did it, and kind of the method or the recipe that they used, and it's a whole lot of fun. We'll start out with Perry Collins. Pete, I left my fault. I left out Perry last week. There's a spiral ham that Perry did for Thanksgiving. He reheated it, of course, and used a drizzle over it. And I those things to me, Pete, are just they're
Oh,
perfect.
yeah, they're amazing.
They're just so good. And there he did there's a spiral ham, and he did some turkey breast too. Now Pete Perry. I don't know if it was our advice, but he did the breast instead of the whole turkey. We have always preached that. If you've got, it's just a great way to do it.
And I've even gone, the turkey roast to me is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love those little bitty turkey roasts that you can buy frozen and get, 3 or 4 different flavors, and you don't have to cook a whole turkey, and they're sliced just so tender and juicy.
The butter balls that come in the
But
little net.
oh yeah, fantastic, and especially if you're not having a ton of people over.
There's some of the ham that was sliced up. I could just, that looks good for dinner, but I tell you what, that looks even better for a sandwich when you're watching the game. And here's Perry's turkey sliced up.
Yeah,
turkey. Look at the
looks good.
You can just tell it still looks juicy. It still looks juicy. Good job, Perry. I should have played those last week and I forgot to. Billy Holland, he set up at the main 24 this weekend. Cam, have you ever been down to that parade?
No. I wish I had known about it. I was working in Knoxville, unfortunately. I wanted to be a part of it. I know about it now.
Yeah, Billy goes down there, and I want now look at this. Look at that container of chili that Billy made.
Good night.
That's a 3-gallon bucket, and over those big old heaters, like we got some of those, Pete.
Yeah.
And look at that.
And Billy cooks some good food.
Oh,
now.
Billy,
he's a good cook.
But look at that chili, man. I mean, he's got enough chili to feed an army down there. Let's see here. Steve Davidson. Now this is really neat, you guys. Steve got a some sort of a not a green egg, but one of those ceramic cookers. I forget what the name of it is. I used to sell
like a Kamado Joe, maybe.
Yeah, Kamado.
Kamado. Yeah.
And this is what I think, Steve. Check this out: beef stew.
Ooh.
Or soup, some sort of stew or soup. If Steve's still watching, maybe he'll tell us what it is. This is when that was the first picture. Looks like that's the beef in it. It's a beef stew. He's cooking that over his Kamado. I love that setup, Pete.
Yeah.
Well, he's got his cast iron in there. I love that. And there's where he's cooking it, got everything in there. And man, that's what it looked like before he finished cooking it. And then there's your end picture there. Does that not look like the perfect comfort food?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
That
looks
is
good.
Good
Steve, that was
cold
just a great job on that, Steve. Very unique. You also checked in with this little.
Yeah, I love this
Look
right
at this
here.
little nugget.
Whoo!
You know, my affection for hot dogs, of course, that made the hair stand up on the back of my neck.
That's some French bread, man, with some good cheese and
Where do I get my
These
hands
sausage,
on that?
right? You took the bratwurst out of the casing and put it in there.
yeah.
And boy, I bet that. How good do you think that was?
Gosh, I can't imagine.
I mean, that's a good. And last but certainly not least, our buddy Thomas Damon from Germany checked in with a smoked salmon on a cedar plank.
Very
And that
nice.
looks, I'm not a big fish eater, but I believe I'd eat that.
Oh, Thomas is a great man. He cooks so many different things. Love to get his pictures in and see his pictures.
Pete, you eat salmon?
I love salmon
Cam, you like salmon?
Same. Love salmon. It's actually my favorite sushi as well.
with rice. I like mine with
Always.
some rice.
That's a staple in our house. Once a week is salmon and rice. Every
Salmon,
week.
right? They make salmon sushi.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Salmon fillet.
I don't eat
So-
bait. Sorry.
Oh man. and
It's actually really good salmon and sushi.
if you
I
find
mean,
the fatty salmon, that's game changer right there.
Maybe we should make
that'll
salmon
change
sell it
your
at the
life.
gas station. You know, they say the best sushi's at the gas station, right?
You know, I saw sushi at a Weigel's and I was like, I got to get out of here. No, this is not right. This is not right.
Well, Cam, I saw you eating something where you let's see, you even had your chopsticks out. Where was that you were eating? And you put
That was at Fuji. Yeah,
At
Fuji
Fuji?
Steak and Sushi. Yeah, they
And you
got a
put
ton
your,
of sushi there.
seaweed. What is that? A plank of seaweed or something in there, and you used it to. You kind of used the seaweed to gather up the product in there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about that was a promotional video I did for a Korean canned tuna brand.
Oh, okay.
So that was it's called it's from a company called Dongguan. You can pretty much there's only one place in the Chattanooga area that I know of to get it, and it's at Asian Food and Gifts on Hickson Pike, my favorite store in all of Chattanooga.
Well,
And,
Kingston Pikes in Knoxville.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. You've only been there 18 months.
Exactly. It's
hard to learn
Asian
the
food
lay
and
of the
gifts somewhere.
know.
Anyway, so you take that and you just mix it in with rice and some Kewpie mayo. And yes, that was a seaweed sheet called nori. And yeah, you just kind of scoop it up, grab it there, take a bite. Fantastic. Really, really good stuff. And for a canned tuna, like I don't typically, care for canned meats just in general. Really good. Really, really good.
Can I make a statement or a comment? And please don't be offended. And Pete, I don't think this will offend you. Cameron, I don't know you well enough, and I certainly don't mean to offend.
We'll figure it out.
Deal?
Fire
What
away.
is the deal with Kewpie mayonnaise? Because
Okay.
I bought some today. I went to Food City. I bought some. I bought 2 pounds of their whatever that sliced bologna is, and I bought some sourdough bread, and I bought some Kewpie mayonnaise to put on it. It did not thrill me one bit. What am I missing?
Okay, so Kewpie mayo, because of its flavor profile, obviously, if you're used to it, eating it on a sandwich is great. Like I have it on sandwiches all the time, but that's because I have it all the time. It's for folks who are not used to Kewpie, it's better when it's added into something. So, for instance, if you wanted to make a chicken salad, or if you anything fishy like tuna fish salad, the tuna that I used, stuff like that, it mixes really, really well with a lot of other things. I actually made a version of ranch dressing using Kewpie, and it kind of changes it. It makes it like zestier.
What about
and everything.
coleslaw? You think it'd be good in coleslaw?
I think it would be good in coleslaw. I haven't tried it in coleslaw, but it's got a kind of vinegary taste to it. So if you like your coleslaw on that side of
Pete,
things,
I'll let you taste it
probably be
tomorrow when
great.
you come in. I got it after you left today. We'll get it out in the morning. I'll let you taste and see what you think.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I've
I was
tasted
kinda
it.
I was kinda
I've
disappointed.
ate it a few times in different places that I've been. Again, I would agree with exactly what you just said. If I'm making my Alabama white sauce, I'm not using that, right? I'm using
No.
Duke's mayonnaise.
Dukes.
But if I'm
Exactly.
doing that, then I'm going to eat, and it's perfectly, it's made for certain things. to
Yep,
enhance
absolutely.
it, to give you a flavor you can't get with the other stuff.
That's right. That's right. And just a little side note, where I worked in Greenville, South Carolina, was across the street from the Duke's plant.
Ooh.
So
I love Dukes.
Yeah, I do too. I did not enjoy smelling them cook it outside because whatever that it smelled like dog food, but however they made it work in the end is great.
I like Dukes too. Cam, thank you so much.
Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you
been a
guys for
pleasure.
having me. I appreciate it.
We look forward to having you on every Tuesday, and I can't wait to live vicariously through your life because you sound like you got it going on. And,
It's a lot of fun.
And we need you to come stop by the barbecue place sometime.
come
down
by.
at Owls
Absolutely.
Nest.
He's going to come
Absolutely.
over. He's going to come over Saturday.
Okay.
We're going to do we're going to do a chicken. We're going to do a turkey on the poultry. We're going to put it on early Saturday. Then we're going to have a little demo at 11 o'clock. Show people how to set it up.
One day we'll have to do a tomahawk steak in a barrel.
See,
And
now
We're
we're talking.
going to fix Cam up
Now we're
with a
talking.
Badger barrel, Pete.
Oh.
I mean, he ain't doing this stuff for free. It's costing him.
If you like a good steak, there's nothing better than having it cooked in a barrel hanging.
Oh, you know,
pay him.
so I haven't done one hanging before, but I have done, like, one of the most popular videos I did when I was cooking all the time was I would smoke and reverse sear a tomahawk.
Yeah.
And just the best. Like, after you have that, how do you go to a Ruth's Chris or somewhere like that? It's
You don't.
worthless.
Well, that's the
It
truth.
doesn't make any sense.
You know, Cam, these Badger barrels that we sell, they're worth like $2,500. We sell them for $249.
Wow.
But
Wow.
they got a great.
That's a deal.
They
So
are
this should-
fantastic.
90% off.
This should
90%
keep
off. I
you
love
going
it.
for at least a couple of years.
That's awesome. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's good times. I want to do some cooking with you guys. I need to contribute to the Owls Nest Nation to the photos there because
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I'll be posting a video later. I made burrito tacos last night.
Ooh,
Nice.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Pete, as always, you're the best. Cameron, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday right here on the Owls Nest BBQ Catch-Up Show. And of course, you can catch Pete and I every Monday through Friday at the Owls Nest BBQ store in Ottawa, and on Saturdays until 3 o'clock. Until then, everybody cook out loud.